business that was discussed. One, a question from a member, how is the private prison going, and that was answered. The other one was a team organization, kind of a review. And I will say that Mr. Gray, he said the right things in a lot, from the standpoint that the governor's office has contacted us. They have informed us what the law is. They have advised us as to what we should do. And I think he made it clear to the membership that if there's more than 2 board members at the same place at the same time, that shouldn't happen anymore.
Well, I was pleased that he brought that up, and actually what he told them was they can't discuss business. They can't discuss team business.
Right. If they want to go talk to a prospect and have a lunch meal there, I would guess that Ms. Anderson could be there and 1 board member, and interested citizens from the community could be there. But the issue comes in with having 2 board members at the same place at the same time.
And of course, we always get that undertone that we're told this is going to interfere with bringing good-paying jobs.
Right. Well,
unlike all the thousands of good-paying jobs that have been pouring into the country or into the county since they've not been complying with the law.
Well, look, I'm not the guy that brought the bad news to them. I'm the guy who pointed out the bad news to them. The bad news is we have very strict laws on the books, and I want to congratulate the Governor's Office of Open Government. They did a huge study throughout the state. It's 180 pages where they reinforced the existing Sunshine Law, Chapter 119 requirements, and have added additional suggestions, mainly in the area of electronic transmission of stuff. I think that has brought about an awareness throughout the state. And let me say this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm certainly not going to deny it, because on January the 28th of this year, I decided that I'm done with people abusing me over not fulfilling Chapter 119 request. And so
you've been called a horsefly. We know this from county email traffic. A horsefly, a jack blank. We can't say it on TV.
We've all been called boo bears. Various and sundry names. And all because I've asked for them to follow the law. But the point that I want to make is that I made a request. That it is a request that I have, as a citizen and that organization, I requested to see their emails. And by law, I have that right as a citizen to inspect those emails. And it just turned into a series of, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I asked to see those, and the first response was, for $701.48, you can see that. And I made up my mind right at that point. I wrote an email. It went to the governor, the lieutenant governor, the Office of Open Government, the First Amendment Foundation, and the Attorney General of the state of Florida. And I tell you what, I don't know what the change is at the state level. Maybe it was their latest study. But let me tell you, I got some action fast.
And let's just interject here. Part of the problem is that we started originally with the state's attorney's office, Bill Edens, and got absolutely nowhere whatsoever with any of this stuff.
Well, and I want to throw in a comment there. Now, it took them right at 8 months to answer the question in 2006: does Team Santa Rosa have to abide by Chapter 119? They did say yes, but they also didn't find that Team Santa Rosa had violated any laws. But I'm going to look in the camera when I say this. The state's attorney's office gave counsel to Team Santa Rosa in 2006, ladies and gentlemen, on what the law says, how to be compliant, and how to stay compliant. And I told the state's attorney's office then, okay, I'll let this one slide even though I believe violations have occurred. But I made it very clear to them that I will not accept a do-over again. We're not going to have a mulligan on this one. In 2006, we were all very clear what the law is.
This is just the public record side of it.
The public record
right.
side,
This is
right.
not even getting into the
Right.
open meeting side of it.
And so we've gone on, and we've been back and forth and back and forth, and I've turned it over to the proper law enforcement agencies, and I hope they take an interest in it.
And on the open meeting side, several months ago, we asked the state's attorney, Bill Eden's office, just to clarify whether their meetings are supposed to be open by law to the public. We still haven't heard back from them.
we
can't get phone calls returned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't go to the state attorney and make a complaint. We went down there, we laid our case out, we put all the cards on the table, and we asked for them to respond. Does Team Santa Rosa have to have open meetings?
And I gave them enough information verbally that they should have been concerned enough to pay close attention to this with other things that were going on that were impacting expensive money decisions that were being made by the BOCC.
Right.
And there was still no response. And still hasn't been to this day.
Now, Deborah, in your comments about not receiving a response, and let me just say this, I do my best to be nice, I really do, but I also believe people have an obligation to do what their job description says. I call the state's attorney's office and ask for a response. Just simply call me. Let me know where you're at.
Right.
I waited 2 weeks, and I called the state's attorney's office again.
Right.
And I said, hey, all I'm asking for you to do is call me and update
Now,
me
this is
on
the local, Bill Eden's the local state's attorney's
local
office.
Bill Eden's office. I waited 2 weeks. I walked into the state's attorney's office, wrote on a piece of paper my name, my telephone number, and asked the state's attorney's office, a specific investigator, to give me a call. 3 weeks have passed, no phone call. Now, pick up the phone and call me and tell me you're not going to do anything about it, or pick up the phone and tell me you're still looking at it. Okay? But let me make it very clear to you. Not calling me, telling me that you're ignoring me is not going over very well. I don't know. I think you might want to check around a little bit. I still got a truck sign that fits in the back of my truck, and if I have to start a protest down there in the parking lot, I will.
Well, and they've now been preempted by the governor's office.
Well, they
And
have.
that's what it took.
But it's their responsibility. The governor's office actually told me that the state's attorney's office is the only elected official that can take direct action over this. Okay? And let me make it very clear that through this whole situation, I've learned I have taken every step afforded to me by the law. I have followed what is in the books. I have gotten guidance from the First Amendment Foundation. I've gotten guidance from other experts in the field. And let me assure you that I have a very good filing system, and everything that I've sent, asked for, I have. All right? And so I've asked the appropriate law enforcement agencies to take a look at that. Actually, Sheriff Wendell Hall, the Sheriff's Department in Santa Rosa County, because it potentially, I'm not saying it is, but because potentially it may be a criminal act, they do have jurisdiction over it also. They can investigate it. It's in their purview of what they do. So